Hey friends, we have to have a talk. If you've been living under a rock for the last couple of months, maybe you missed it, but the Trump administration is dismantling our democracy brick by brick, department by department, and institution by institution. I am not a fatalist in any sense of the word. I do believe that this can get turned around. I do believe that America can show the rest of the world who we truly are, which is not Trump's pawns or people who want to take Canada or rename the Gulf of Mexico or destroy the relationships with our allies all over the world. Most Americans do not want that. But I want to directly address an elephant in the room right now. Because while there are many reasons that Trump came back into power with a whole horde of people pushing this Project 2025 agenda, part of the reason that he was able to come back into power is because Democrats continue infighting and nitpicking over issues. And here's the thing, a lot of those issues are important. A lot of those issues are important to me personally. I don't like politics. I don't follow most politicians. I don't stay in the know with all of the nitty gritty backdoor dealings, house of cards bullshit. But I do have a strong ethical and moral compass. And I greatly care about marginalized people, especially when myself and many of my family members fall into certain marginalized groups. But even if that wasn't the case, we should care about our neighbors. We should care about our fellow Americans, and we shouldn't want to see them suffer. Marginalized people are being attacked right now. They're the first to fall when an oligarchy takes hold. And we see there's been a laser focus put on immigrants, put on transgender and non-binary people. Racist voices have gotten much louder and face less opposition. Xenophobia runs rampant, even against neighbors like Canada. When have we ever had beef with Canada? So in my mind, protecting democracy is directly linked to protecting marginalized people. And that is why I fight. I fight for the quality of life for myself and my fellow Americans, no matter what our differences are. And that last part seems to be the hard pill to swallow, because especially in the last 10 to 15 years, we have been purposefully divided by people at the top, mostly people with money at the top, yelling at us what groups we belong in and what we should believe based on those groups. But at the end of the day, we are all human. We are all in this country Americans, and it is our job to care for and lift up our communities. Right now, that work means defending democracy. And to do that, you're going to have to work with people you don't like. You're going to have to work with people that you don't agree with every step of the way. That doesn't mean you should compromise your morals. That doesn't mean that you're giving anything up by making a new ally. And this is a lot coming from someone like me, because I sound very centrist right now. I understand that. And I'm fighting side by side with people who span from the farthest left possible to right of center. And we're seeing more and more Trump supporters who had voted for him, who are now seeing he is the emperor wearing no clothes. He has lied to us. His promises are false, and his agenda is not helpful to the American people. So we are seeing more people who voted for Trump coming and standing up at protests, coming and speaking out, coming and writing to their legislators, doing all of the peaceful things that we are guaranteed the right to do under the First Amendment of the Constitution. And as a queer disabled woman, it is hard for me to stand shoulder to shoulder with people who threw me under the bus in the last election. But do you know what's harder? Losing the whole fucking country over this. There is truth to the idea that conflict brings us closer. Wars bring us together. Right now, this is not a war that we are fighting with fists. It is a war that we are still able to fight using freedom of speech. And for that fight to be effective, we need numbers, which means sometimes we are going to have to embrace people who are fighting for the same thing we are, even if at the end of the day, they're in different stages of their learning when it comes to issues that involve marginalized people and other social issues. And I am not saying that we compromise on those issues. And I'm not saying that we give up our own ideals on those issues. But I am saying that if our democracy falls, we all fail. This is the time that we need to work together because the stakes could not be higher right now. Please don't wait until it's too late. It is time for us to all put on our grown-up pants, be the bigger person, and work together until we win.